right, here we go. Back again with another one. Good evening. Happy Monday, YouTube family. I hope you all are doing amazing. Hope you had a great weekend. And let's kick off the week with a banger. All right. So for today, we have a very special appearance, a new acquisition of mine, Frederic Malle Musc Ravageur. So as you can see, this is not your run-of-the-mill niche fragrance. This is one for the true frag heads. Definitely deserves a warm welcome on the channel. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the review of this one. So Frederic Malle Musc Ravageur. This is a fragrance that was released in 2000. So almost pushing 30 years since the original release of this fragrance. Of course, the formulation has changed a few times since the original debut, but none the least, here we have it in 2026. Proud to add this one to the collection. So this particular fragrance was perfumed by a gentleman named Maurice Roussel. He is noted here on the bottle. Frederic Malle details the perfumer for all of their fragrances actually on the bottle. Pretty cool highlight for these. But yeah, he's an OG vet in the game. Been a perfumer for I think like over 50 years or something like that. Works with the likes of Frederic Malle as well as a few other houses. So yeah, we got a pretty historical fragrance on our hands. Nothing new, but very special. So we got our handy dandy test strip right here. Quick atomizer check. Beautiful pressurized atomizer. And let's check cap fitment as well. Got a nice, I would say, weighty plastic cap. Clicks right into place on the bottle. Have a 100 ml, 3.4 ounce bottle. And it does stay in place. You do hear a little give as you pick the bottle up, but I think it's staying in place no problem. Wouldn't hold it by the cap, but if you have to, I think you should be good to go. So on test strip, I am getting some of the top notes. So you're gonna get somewhat of a, I would describe it as a metallic-y floral. I'm getting some lavender, some vanilla, and almost immediately after the first spray, if your nose is hip to it, with a few reviews from this fragrance, you may hear people kind of hint at a pissy sour smell that, of course, this is a musk fragrance, can come from musk if it is of the potent variety from a certain animal. This is a white musk detailed in this particular iteration, by the way. But yeah, so you may get that kind of pissy sour smell on strip and on skin. I have worn this fragrance a few times since acquiring. But yeah, so and you get a nice sheen from that extrait concentration. A very oily fragrance. I would say try to avoid spraying it directly on clothes, whites in particular, because yeah, this extrait can stain sometimes. It's not a terribly dark juice, but still wanna be careful. Better safe than sorry. So let's get into the top notes and the wearing experience on this one, because it is very interesting. It takes you down a bit of a roller coaster. So top notes, we have bergamot, mandarin, which I really don't get, and lavender. For the mid notes, we have amber, vanilla, and musk. For the base notes, we have sandalwood and more musk. Some of the notes that aren't listed in the breakdown on the website that I personally catch, particularly in the dry down, are some cinnamon, maybe cardamom, and definitely clove. Um, I'm getting those for sure, and I think if you check a few other different people's takes on it, they definitely state that they get some clove in this one. So it's gonna dry down to a bit of a gourmand, warm blanket of spices. So I'm gonna take a quick trip to the imagination station, and like I said, this fragrance does put you on a roller coaster. It's a bit of a ride. So I'm gonna give you all my wearing interpretation from a creative standpoint of how I interpret this fragrance, right? So, as I mentioned in the beginning, you're gonna get that florally metallic, fresh off the top from that lavender, that vanilla. I think it makes for a very warm, soft, powdery opening. Very easy on the nose, slightly sweet. May get some sweetness from that vanilla. Not overbearing, not super pungent, but definitely there. So again, as I mentioned, in that mid, slightly in the first level of the drawdown, you will, especially on skin that's kind of going away now, you're gonna get that pissy sour smell. Um, I enjoy fragrances that challenge me, something that gives me a bit of a different experience when I'm wearing. And again, I wear fragrances for me. I wear clothes for me. You know, if I decide to put that shit on, hey, it's because I like how I look. You know, it's only a plus if you get a compliment or someone else tends to dig it as well. You know, but yeah, and in that base, you start to get those spices that kind of start to do a dance with those first two descriptions. They kind of go back and forth. It's like a little salsa going on, a little two-step. You give a little here, you take a little there. It's a nice exchange, a nice return. But when it's all said and done, this is a bit of an unorthodox description, but I get the aroma of like a luxury chewing gum when this fragrance kind of comes to its completion. Imagine the most refined gentleman or lady that you know. Some people like to chew gum. That's part of their whole aura, their aesthetic. Imagine the most sophisticated person you know who likes to chew gum, and they have a very special, unique, one-of-a-kind formulation of something that only they chew, that has a warm spiciness, almost like a cinnamon warm candy type of smell, but a slight sweetness, a slight softness. It's alluring, it's inviting, it's pleasant. That's what this gives me in the holistic essence of its aroma. A luxury chewing gum. Again, everyone has their very different takes of what they spray smells on them. That's what mine is for this one. So, want to give a few plugs, bonus information about this fragrance, and if you're still here, want to give y'all two, not one, but two layering combinations, which I will reveal in a minute, for these fragrances I have next to me that also will work with this. So, definitely want to give a plug to the batch code for the snobs who do care or want to know. So the batch code on this bottle is B16 26085, which I will show here. I'm not sure if y'all could catch that. It may come up transparent at the bottom of the bottle. But again, batch code is B16 26085. And let me, all right, here's a fun part of the video, right? So, I always like to play with different fragrances that give me a bit of a challenge and sometimes layer them with others, right? So, Recently, I layered Musc Ravageur. I just got the fragrance. I've worn it a little bit on its own, but I already wanted to jump into the muddy deep waters and see what I can do. So I layered it first with Louis Vuitton Ombre Nomad. For those who know about this fragrance, it is a very dank rose oud that some people like and some people hate. I personally love it. You can see how far I am through my bottle. So yeah, this is one of those ones for me. And yeah, I got 2 compliments the night that I did this layering combination when I went to the cigar lounge I frequented. As soon as I walked in, somebody was like, "Man, what you got on that smells good." And then I made it slightly into the humidor where a lady I passed up, she was reading her little book, had her literature going as I passed her up. And she literally chased me down the hall of the humidor to ask me what I had on. And when I told her the combination, it just blew her mind. So yeah, that was pretty dangerous. Definitely a unorthodox combination, but you know, one that I would say the true frag heads could appreciate. All right, so a bit more of a subtle vibe, a more gentleman-like, you know, you're not trying to do too much, say too much, but anybody who's up on you, who's close to you, they know what it is. So here we have Hypnotizing Fire by the Harmonist. This is actually a very sentimental bottle for myself because this was one of my gifts on my first Father's Day. Shout out to Moms. She did her big one with this one, getting this for me. And this has definitely been a staple in the collection since. Love that fragrance, but paired with this one, definitely did something special. Let's see, let's get to prices. So retail on this fragrance for the 3.4, I want to say is about $420 or something like that. If you are not, which I recommend you use discounters. If you can save a few bucks, why not? But on the Neiman's website, I want to say this one is about $420. If you are getting the 1.7, it's going to run you a little less. I think the 1.7 is on sale at like $275 or something like that. But yeah, so yeah, Frederic Malle is definitely one of those houses that isn't for everyone, but for those who have a more mature nose and like original formulations, that's not necessarily mass appealing, but done for the love of the craft. Frederic Malle, I would say, may be a house for you. All right, that's what we got for today, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you don't mind. Trying to do my thing with the channel. As you can see, I'm working on my creative space. This will probably be my background that y'all see for my videos going forward. So get used to it. For the next video, I think we're gonna do a discovery set of a house to be determined, but definitely something different. Like I said, that's my goal with what I wanna bring to y'all. So yeah, RIKKO'S Life signing out. See y'all soon.